Welcome to The Driven Deal, the podcast where real estate professionals, investors, and industry experts share insights, strategies, and trends shaping the market. I'm your host, Jose Angel, and in each episode, we dive into game changing tactics, automation, and success stories to help you stay ahead in the real estate world. Whether you're an agent, broker, or investor, this podcast is designed to bring you valuable knowledge to scale your business. Let's get started. On today's episode of The Driven Deal, we're excited to welcome Jasmine Coulter, a powerhouse in the real estate industry. Born and raised in Oklahoma, Jasmine is a dedicated mother, wife, and passionate real estate professional with an impressive track record. With 9 nationally recognized certifications, dual broker licenses in Oklahoma and Texas, and an Oklahoma instructor's license, she's on a mission to restore professionalism in real estate. Her deep expertise and mentorship have empowered countless agents and clients, transforming the way people approach buying and selling homes. Beyond real estate, Jasmine is a devoted foodie who loves exploring new restaurants and spending time with family and friends. Get ready for an insightful conversation with somebody truly shaping the future of real estate.
Hello.
Hello, Jasmine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's very nice to meet you, and thank you for making the time for this short meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the invite. I'm very curious.
Yes, of course. Where are you located right now?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oh, nice. And how's the weather over there?
It is rainy, but not bad for January. We're somewhere in like close to 60 degrees, which is nice because that's a warm winter for us. So yeah, it feels more like spring today.
Oh, nice, nice. That's good to hear.
Yeah, what about you? Where are you at?
Right now, I'm in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, in Central America.
Yeah, Honduras. Honduras, I have a friend in ministry. He goes to Honduras about once a month. He's been
Oh,
there 97 times. Uh,
wow.
and he always talks about Honduras. He brought me some coffee back from Honduras. I have to try it. But
Cool,
yeah, cool.
cool.
I love it. I hope to be able to visit one day.
Yes, of course, more than welcome. Before we dive in, here's how the call will go. We'll start with your background and the industry trends that you're seeing. Then we'll discuss your current challenges and where you want to be in the next 6 to 12 months. Finally, we'll wrap up by exploring any next steps if it makes sense, and the whole conversation will take about 20 to 30 minutes. Does that sound good?
It's wonderful.
All right then. Well, thank you again for making the time for jumping here on our podcast. Welcome again. Okay, so can you share a bit about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture at Block Real Estate?
Yeah, so an update is required. Just 3 months ago, I merged Block Real Estate Group with another company called AHA, which stands for A Home Awaits. And so I need to update. So it is still Block Real Estate, but it's powered by AHA, is how we are marketing. But I am still an owner in the merger, and so I just have a business partner now.
Okay.
Um, so, and please, I'm sorry, me establishing that clarity, I've forgotten the question I'm supposed to be answering. Could you repeat it?
No, I was just asking, can you share a bit more about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture? Well, not only Block Real Estate now, but with the merger, the AHA group, how do you fit in into this bigger picture?
Sure.
And how does your
So, so the way I fit into AHA, Block powered by AHA, is I am the founder of Block Real Estate Group that was an independent brokerage that was established 4 years ago. It was established after a 7-year license holding at a different independent brokerage that I was a senior partner in for 4 years. And essentially, that company, it split in its ownership, and the vision no longer aligned with mine. So I found myself kind of going out independently to try to create the vision that I have for real estate and the contributions that I want to make to the industry. And about a year ago, I met a young lady who our visions aligned, and so we decided that we were stronger together, and we should try to work together, work smarter, not harder. And so like I said, that merger was just 3 months ago. We're working on 4 months, so there's a lot of work to do. Interestingly enough, I was a brokerage of 5 agents. She was a brokerage of 3 agents. And within that 3 month merger, we are now a brokerage of 40 agents.
Wow.
so, so
Congratulations.
a lot has happened, and things are people are really attracted to this merger in ways that I don't think she or I could have predicted. And so our lives are just kind of speeding. It's like it's building a momentum faster than we ever expected. And so there's a lot of building, but a lot of exciting things happening through that.
I bet it's a good problem to have.
It is.
Congratulations. So what does a typical day look like for you right now with the merger and everything?
Oh my gosh. So, one of the things that is the heart posture of our brokerage is, the realtor brand, which I don't know that realtor brand is very prominent in South America, but in North America, it's a very influential brand in the real estate industry. And one of the things about that brand is community advocacy and involvement. And so both she and I are heavily involved in the political and community aspect of our marketplace for advocacy for home ownership rights and for increased professionalism in our industry. And so we are both on a lot of boards. We are both in a lot of committees. And because we're fighting for the voice of the representation of our clients, our customers, and our community. And so for me, myself, I can't speak to my partner's schedule, but for me, myself, I'm a very spiritually grounded person. And so my mornings are comprised of, anchoring myself spiritually. And so there's a lot of meditation, a lot of journaling, a lot of reading. And that is, from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. for me. And I'm clearing through a lot of things. And I typically take my first appointment around 11 a.m. For the day. And that could be I'm a chair on some committees, I'm vice chair on some committees, I'm a board of director, and so it comprises of those obligations. And I still stand as a mentor in the company. Neither she or I manage the brokerage. We have a managing broker. And so that managing broker helps us with compliance and all that stuff. But we do, of course, we want to be involved, and we understand that we have a perspective and our expertise and our years of experience that will be very beneficial to our agents. And so I'm taking in a lot of those inquiries. So right now, these days, with the beginning of the year, like today after this call, I'll be working on some chair stuff for the contracts and forms committee that I chair. And that's just us re-looking at all of our forms that we have as a organization for our MLS, and deciding in light of all the lawsuits that have come in place, that's kind of changed the way we do, what forms are no longer relevant and making them relevant. So a lot of things. And then I'm a mom, of course, and a wife. And so I do end my days at 6 p.m. To give them everything. So my work day really is from 11 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I just try to get everything done.
Nice, nice, nice. And I know you mentioned that you're in a lot of, well, several committees and that you help around the community and to structure it more and to make it more professional. Speaking of which, what major shifts are you seeing right now in the industry?
Oh my. So, AI has really it's changing the way we do business. I think that the efforts that Zillow brought into our industry about a decade ago with transparency, with more transparency to the consumer and access to more things, that was like, one thing that we've kind of figured out we're getting adjusted to. And then you throw AI in now, and AI is just really affecting the way we do a lot of things. And so, as a lot of our organizations, the board of directors that I sit on, it is the technology company for our marketplace. So where we go and we look at all of our houses and we compile all that information. And so one of the things that's really dramatically affected us right now with the rulings of how the lawsuits turned out is, the conversation of compensation. Our database used to house the compensation from one cooperative agent to another. And the DOJ and the voices thereof that made the ruling said you have to change the way you talk about compensation from one professional to another. And so, that's very new. It's not even 6 months old, that ruling. And so there's still a lot of adjustments in our marketplace on how do we have the compensation conversation. And then the way we market things, the way we transact things, the way we even show houses, AI is really redefining a lot of that. And so those are the two hot topics I would say right now is, the conversation of compensation between parties and between professionals. And then how do, we get our agents to use AI to its benefit instead of being afraid that it's replacing a lot of what they do.
Okay, thanks. And right now, what do you consider it's working well for you, and what has been frustrating at the moment?
That's a really good question. One that's thought-provoking. It might take me a moment to sit.
Of course.
Um, so what's working? I would say one of the things that's really working for me, my agents, even my partner, is the fact that we've been heavily relationship rooted. And that's really, really working for us right now, where we see some other people maybe having some frustrations. We are just very people rooted. And so what happens is a lot of people are flocking to us, asking and looking for understanding and clarity from us, which is really cool because we don't have to kind of rush out in front of our community and our clients and kind of like defend ourselves or even have to establish some perceived value of, hey, you should really still use me despite like all these things. Like instead, we've proven ourselves truthful and honest and available. And so, the marketplace is coming to us. And so that's really worked in our benefit, just continuing to be available to the people and be and bring a lot of value to personable relationships. So that's really worked for us. We didn't, when technology kind of ramped up, we did not get lost behind CRMs. We didn't get lost behind, email campaigns, text campaigns. We used those to enhance us, but not to replace how we communicate with our clientele and with our community. And I think that's really worked well. I think that I saw a lot of agents kind of feel like technology was able to replace some of the peopling that they didn't really enjoy. And I don't think that's worked out for them long term. What's frustrating? What's frustrating right now is I don't know what the statistics are in South America. In North America, there's an 88% failure rate in our industry. And
Failure. Okay.
And so what that means is, statistically speaking, say the way I explain it is say that you are in real estate school and get your real estate license. And 1 year after you graduate from your getting your real estate license, you have a class reunion. And only 20 people out of your class of 100 people show up to your 1 year class reunion. That's because that's all who's left. Everyone else fell out. That's what it looks like. And then on your 2nd year class reunion, only 12 people show up because that's all that's left. And so that's the biggest frustration for someone who's very passionate about professionalism, passionate about what we have the power to do to help home ownership, is that you're constantly working with a revolving door of people who don't really know what's going on and don't really have a clue. Because there's an 88% churning. 80% fall off in the first year and another 8% fall off in the second year, meaning by year two, 88% of people who tried it failed at it. And so there's this constant of you're trying to bring a quality thing, but the people that you're oftentimes having to work with just are not on the same level and don't get it, and it affects progression and progress.
Okay. And which metrics are you most focused on improving right now?
For me personally, I am more focused on improving or increasing the home ownership amongst minorities in my marketplace. There's only 1% home ownership amongst Blacks where I live. Hispanics where I live have 9% home ownership, and then the rest is to whites. And so I'm wanting to increase that metric. I really want to see higher home ownership amongst minorities in my marketplace. So we're doing a lot of what we're doing is community focused, information driven, to present opportunities to people who honestly, there's just not a lot of patience. There's a lot of patience required to help these people accomplish homeownership. I won't lie. And so I can see where a lot of professionals kind of burn out because it's a lot of work and the reward is not monetary. And so you have to be okay with putting in work where it's not about the money.
Okay. What tactics have you been using currently to getting people through the door? What has worked and what do you think hasn't worked that well so far?
Yeah. Are we talking about from a recruiting brokerage standpoint or from a consumer buyer seller standpoint?
Consumer buyer seller standpoint.
So one of the things that my group has been very successful at that a lot of other brokerages have not been successful at is we've done what we call home buyer readiness events in the community. And it's where we partner with a lender, a local lender, and we invite people to come and get a soft credit pull. And so that we can show them what their buying power is. And if they don't have buying power, we help make a plan on how to get buying power. Or if they do have buying power that does not help them get the purchase that they're after, we make a plan to increase that buying power. And that, that's something that is, it takes some marketing. We do radio to, get that word out. We do miniature or we do smaller presentations in like neighborhood associations. And we get with some of the local politicians here to make them aware of what we're doing. So it's a lot of collaborative effort to get the word out. But every single time we do one of these events, the coolest thing is within 90 days, we've made a first time person a homeowner. And so it's super rewarding. It's super exciting. We've done it for about 2 years now, and the numbers are increasing. We did a collaboration with a few other brokerages on this particular event last month, and we had over 120 people show up. And so it's getting bigger. And that's just exciting because it's helping us accomplish our goal. So that's one of the things that really has worked out for us is let's say, hey, we have this information and we don't have to say we're going to give away a car, give away $1,000. Like we don't have to incentivize. We just tell them this is here for you. And we're not going to hit your credit score hard. That seems to be like the thing that people are most concerned about. Well, I'm working on my credit and I don't want it to be hit. And so that's what the soft credit pool does. It's like it does not affect your credit score. So we're taking that thing away from you that makes you feel like this is going to hurt you, and people are coming to it.
Nice, nice. And how about the competition? How are you guys keeping yourself competitive? I mean, you mentioned that your agency right now just merged and that you have now about 40 agents. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so how are you keeping yourself competitive in the market right now?
Yeah, so relationships. Like honestly, that's our sweet sauce. I mean, we're both small independents that came together, so we don't have all the money. So we don't have, the technology to compete with the big box brokerages. And we don't have, just this. I think our branding is really cute and cool, but we don't have a ton of money to put toward cool websites and, private apps and things like that, like some of the big bucks. But what we have is you will get a person. And when you get a person, you'll have their undivided attention and commitment to your need. And that helps us win.
Nice. And what bottlenecks are you seeing that, when unlocked, will take you to the next level in the business?
Processes and systems that only technology can help us. But, AI, this is where AI is really like a win for the small business owner because it's not ridiculously expensive. And so it's really, really, it's only a matter of time for us. I really think this year we're going to have enough systems and processes that are really flowing to make everything seamless. Right now, the bottlenecking is where some things require a person that doesn't get to it fast enough, maybe, or it requires too much time waiting on a person's approval. And so, yes, being able to seamlessly flow AI into these automations and these processes and systems, they're just going to take us to the next level. And so we're working on that. Both my partner and I are boards on technology board companies. That's really, so we get to kind of like, it's like, whoo, this is fun. We're learning so much. And so in fact, we go to a technology conference next month to learn some more new cool stuff. But yeah, processes and systems, automation, that's the bottleneck, that's the thing that we need to help us get out of these situations.
Right. And any big plans for 2025? Where do you want to be in 6 or 12 months from now?
Yeah, a lot.
Sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, I know.
No, there's so much. There's so many big plans. So the cool thing is when my partner and I came together, we were both working on these really cool like projects that ironically enough coming together is like, oh my gosh, like your thing feeds my thing. Like, what are the chances? And so we have a real estate school that we're looking to hopefully open in the next 4 to 6 months. We have a remodeling company my husband and I have. Well, she was property management or is property management. So Airbnbs and multifamilies. Her biggest thing was just finding a maintenance crew that could really handle her flow. She has a lot of investor heavy clientele. Well, my husband and I came together, and when we started doing that, her maintenance on her buildings, it's like, what the heck just happened? My owners are like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is great. You're handling this so well. Here's more property. And so it's like, oh, we just got 120 unit property now from an owner who gave us his 16 unit property. And he's like, oh, you guys are doing really good. Well, here's another one. We're like, wow, this is wonderful. How much worse is going to happen? And so one of our recruits, one of those people, well, he's a developer and he develops on a large scale. And so our thing now is like, okay, let's take all these things and let's create our own developments and let's create some unique opportunity for collaboration between our book of business because we have a lot of investors who have a lot of similarities, and let's see if we can create some JV opportunities between the two of them. So let's create some client events that put them in the same room. Let's get the conversation starting, and let's see how we can help our own book of business just grow through collaboration, because collaboration between her and I have just proven to be so beneficial in such a short amount of time. Let's not grow this in our own book of business. And so that's kind of what we're hoping in the next 6 to 12 months is to see a lot of joint venture and collaboration opportunities within our own nucleus and to grow out our network even further.
Nice. Um, if you could solve one major challenge today, what would it be?
If I could solve one major challenge today, what would it be? Hmm, that's so hard. I want to save the world. Um, my the thing that just irritates me the most is the lack of professionalism in my industry. And I say that I actually own a non-realtor brokerage. And the reason for opening that non-realtor brokerage is because in my years of recruiting, I noticed that most people don't get into this to help the people. They get into this for one of four reasons, in my opinion, in my observation. They get into real estate because they want to do real estate investing, and they either want to know more about real estate investments personally to help them in their future investing, or they just don't, they want to save money on their investments, cut out the realtor fee, a real estate agent fee, and absorb that in the investment. So that's one of four. The other is the what I call the hobbyist. They're like, a friend said that you really like houses, you should get into real estate. Or I was watching HGTV and I thought I could do that too. Or, it's something like that. That's the hobbyist category. And then you have what I call the hustler category, the side hustle. It's like someone who has no intention of making real estate their career, but they want to supplement their income. And so they thought they'd do real estate as a side hustle just to make a little extra cash. Then you have what I call the career persons or the advocate, the person who got into this really wanting to learn the business, really wanting to become a professional in it, or really wanting to advocate for the rights of home ownership for others. But that career sector looks a lot like 12%, that 12% success rate that we talked earlier. So only a small percentage of that are people who really care to get into this for professionalism's sake. And so there you have an 88% and you're left is like, oh my gosh. And so I just wish that I could help that 88%, which was the reason for this non-realtor brokerage, kind of like put them like, here, go this way. You got your license. Let me put you where you want to be at so that the consumer, like the innocent person who does not know the difference between the hobbyist and the professional, so that they can get the best service and have the best real estate experience, and so that we can protect our reputation out here. Because real estate agents, I don't know, I think we're kind of, some of us, I think we kind of are getting that car salesman reputation, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That's a good vision to have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Jasmine, that was great. Thank you for sharing these insights. Where can people reach out to you if they want to get in contact with you?
So the best way to get a hold of me is not through a social channel, ironically enough, is my email. But if I am present on any social channel, it's probably LinkedIn. And I'm Jasmine Coulter, Coulter. My email is jcoulter at B like boy, L like love, O like octopus, C like cat, realestatesgroup.com. And our website is blockrealestate.com. Again, that's block with no K.
All right. But you're changing the website, right? Because of the merger.
Yes, so it's currently at that URL, but it will probably still, that URL will probably still always link you to that website, but we'll change the main drive. So that'll always be standing. It's been out there long enough, but we'll have a couple of domains that direct you to that website.
All right, great. Thanks again for your time.